Welcome to the Quotive Corner. This episode is dropping at a very specific moment. The 2026 FIFA World Cup has just kicked off right here in North America, across 16 cities in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. 48 nations, the biggest World Cup in history. The world is watching. And I thought there was no better time for this quote. Play for the name on the front of the shirt, and they will remember the name on the back. That's widely attributed to Tony Adams, Arsenal's legendary captain for 14 years, one of the most decorated defenders in English football history, and a man whose entire career was a living demonstration of exactly what this quote means. The setup is deceptively simple. In team sports, the team name is on the front of the jersey. The player's name, or number, is on the back. Two pieces of information, and the quote is making a claim about which one you should be playing for and what happens when you get that priority right. Play for the team, and your own legacy takes care of itself. That inversion is the whole point. Because the instinct in competitive sports, especially at the highest level, where individual careers, contracts, and legacies are on the line, often runs the other way. The temptation to play for the name on the back is real and understandable. Statistics get you contracts. Individual brilliance gets you highlights. Personal glory is visible in a way that collective sacrifice often isn't. The player who makes the perfectly timed run to create space for a teammate's goal doesn't appear on the score sheet. The player who absorbs contact to allow a teammate to break free doesn't get the clip. And yet, watch any genuinely great team, the ones that win not just games, but championships, not just seasons, but eras. And what you almost always find underneath the individual talent is a group of people who have genuinely bought into the front of the shirt, who have subordinated individual glory to collective purpose, who have made the harder choice again and again, in small moments nobody is watching, to serve the team rather than themselves. The 2026 World Cup is going to give us 104 matches to watch that dynamic play out in real time. 48 nations, each assembled from players who compete against each other for clubs across the globe, suddenly asked to function as a single unit for a month. Some will, some won't. And the teams that go deepest into the tournament will almost always be the ones where the individual ego has been folded into something larger, where the name on the front has become genuinely more important than the one on the back. Tony Adams understood this from the inside. He captained Arsenal through some of the most successful periods in the club's history, playing alongside world-class talent and managing personalities that could have easily fragmented under pressure. What held it together, by almost every account, was the culture Adams built and enforced. A culture where the team came first, not as a slogan, as a daily practice. But this quote isn't just about soccer, football, or whatever you'd like to call it. It's not even just about sports. The dynamic it describes is present in every team, every organization, every family, every collaborative human endeavor, where individual interests and collective purpose have to be negotiated. The employee who hoards information to protect their value rather than sharing it with colleagues who need it. The colleague who takes credit for group work because the visibility serves their career. The team member who performs brilliance in moments where it benefits their personal brand, but disappears when the unglamorous work needs to be done. These are all versions of playing for the name on the back, and in every case, the team around them pays the price. We talked when we looked at John Wooden about the difference between character and reputation. That character is what you actually are, and reputation is merely what others think you are. Adams's quote is a team sports version of that same argument. The player who plays for the team is building character. The player who plays for their own legacy is managing reputation. And here's the thing. Wooden understood, and Adams demonstrated. When you get the character right, the reputation follows. Play for the front of the shirt long enough, and the name on the back gets remembered anyway. Not in spite of the selflessness, because of it. Rick Warren gave us the observation that true humility isn't thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less. That's exactly what playing for the front of the shirt requires. Not the suppression of talent or ambition, not the pretense that individual excellence doesn't matter, but the genuine reorientation of purpose, from what this moment does for me to what this moment does for us. That shift is harder than it sounds, and it's rarer than coaches would like. Major Dick Winters lived this too, not on a pitch or field, but in combat, where the stakes of individual ego versus collective purpose couldn't have been higher. His men trusted him because his attention was consistently on the mission and on them, never on his own standing. The name on the front of the uniform, Easy Company, 506th, was always what he was playing for, and decades later his name is remembered precisely because of it. There's also something worth saying about what this quote asks of leaders specifically. The captain, the coach, the manager, the person whose job it is to hold the collective identity together, carries a particular responsibility here. Because the culture of any team starts at the top, players watch what leadership tolerates. They absorb what leadership models. A captain who plays for the front of the shirt creates permission for everyone else to do the same. A captain who quietly plays for their own legacy, however skillfully disguised, creates a culture that fractures under pressure. Adams was a flawed human being by his own admission. He has written and spoken openly about his struggles with addiction and the personal failures that ran alongside his professional success. What makes him credible on this particular topic isn't a life of perfect selflessness. It's that, on the pitch, in the moments that mattered, he consistently chose the team. That's not nothing. That's the thing you can actually measure. So as the World Cup unfolds over the next several weeks, across 16 cities, 104 matches, billions of viewers, watch for it. Watch for the moments where a player chooses the team over themselves. The tackle that protects a teammate. The pass that creates the goal instead of taking the shot. The veteran who comes off the bench without complaint because the team needs what they bring in 20 minutes, not 90. Those moments are the front of the shirt, and they are, more often than people realize, what decides who lifts the trophy at MetLife Stadium on July 19th. Play for the name on the front. The rest takes care of itself. Thanks for spending a few minutes here at the Quote of Corner. Enjoy the World Cup, and whatever team you're cheering for, or playing for, or working alongside, remember which name deserves your best effort. And as always, wisdom isn't in the quote, it's in the reflection. I'll catch you in the next episode.